Welcome back to another episode of the Gambling Goats podcast. He's Johnny. I'm Shea. Big week 12 coming up here. Thanksgiving week for all our friends down in the States there. Hope you had lots of turkey on Thursday and watch a ton of, mediocre football with the, Bears Lions and then all the penalties called in the Cowboys Raiders game there. The only decent game was the Bills game where they just blew the doors off the Saints. So that was nice to see. Johnny, how you doing, brother?
Good. Quite the intro, Shay. It's nice Thanksgiving weekend, get the family together, get to eat some good food, and watch some games. Now, us up in Canada, we already had our Thanksgiving, but we still got to do the same. So hope everyone had a good weekend. We've got 3 games already done, like Shay was saying. I made some money off those, but we got our best picks for week 12, and I think we should just get right into it. Or I guess we should recap last week. So week 11. Week 11 was tough, just like every week is. They don't call it the city of sin for nothing. It doesn't look that way for nothing. They make money off us, and here's where they did. So last week I went 3 for 3 out of 5. I swear to God, I'm just averaging 65% right now, but we're gonna get those numbers up. Green Bay -2 versus Vikings didn't hit. Vikings got them by a field goal. They can go themselves. Yeah. Washington versus Carolina. Shea and I were both on the opposite sides of this. Unfortunately for Shea, I came up on the best side with +3.5 for Washington. They actually got the dub.
Yeah.
Chicago Bears, I had picked at +4.5. Great value versus the Ravens. That line changed, and Chicago kept it within 3 with that final march by Lamar. Very good game for the under. I took Titans -10. Should have took the plus points with how much the dogs have been barking this year.
Yeah.
Houston getting the outright dub versus Titans. Don't like it. Don't love it. I hate it. San Fran -6. That hit versus Jaguars. So that's my 3 out of 5. Shay, what'd you get?
Dude, I'm running out of things to shave here for how bad I've been doing. I was on the other side there on the Washington Panthers game. I had Panthers -3.5. That didn't hit. I had the Saints
Cam Newton.
Oh, well, Cam saved me though. He did get a touchdown and I hit that prop. So that was he did save me on that. I had the Saints +1.5 versus the Eagles. They got their doors blown off, letting Jalen Hurts just run all over them for 3 touchdowns. Bengals. This was the only game I did win. I had Bengals at the Raiders as a pick'em. Bengals won it, and they did it in good, convincing fashion. Their offense actually looked pretty stellar. Jamar Chase got another touchdown, so there was another prop hit for me. Cowboys Chiefs. I had the Cowboys +2.5. Obviously did not hit, and the Bills losing to the Colts blew apart my teaser. It's a tough week for the kid. A 1-4 week. Not looking good. Meanwhile, on my Thanksgiving picks there, I don't know for all of you that tuned in and watched that Thursday episode, I went 2-2. Broke even day, even keel. My teaser lost because of the Cowboys losing in overtime to the Raiders. But you know what? The real MVP of that game was the refs with 200+ yards of penalties called on these teams. So they really changed the outcome of that game. Lions covered the +3. Got lucky there. Bears won by 2. Lions covered the +3. I also did like the under. I wish I would have put money on it because that game was an under game all day long. And then, like I said, Bills blew the doors off the Saints. They covered that -6 when I gave it out there. So, tough week. But I'm on the up and up. I'm feeling good. I'm hitting some prop tickets. It's feeling good. Johnny. Big week 12 ahead of us. Why don't you kick us off and give us your first favorite play of the week, man?
Great week 12. So glad. But I got to mention, I was hesitant on Cam, and I think I called it. He's all show. At least he looks great showing up to a game, but he is the Russell Westbrook of the NFL, man. Looks great coming to the show. Gets a triple-double. Gets the touchdown.
That's a hot take.
Oh, gets the touchdown. But as for getting W's, man, and being looks like a team leader, but it's all show, and I hate it. I like real leaders, real people who can take a loss and carry it on their shoulders. So, anyways, getting into week 12, we got some great picks. Throwing out these picks, they're gone. I got some good picks this week. Dogs have been barking all year long. Yep. It's hard because when you think you got a favorite like the Bills last week, nope. Titans like I did a couple weeks ago, nope. Houston beating them, or just like the Rams too. So on paper they should get the W. Don't know what's happening these weeks, and they're breaking apart my parlays. So yeah, Detroit actually had a really nice $5 parlay in this week. Detroit hurt me bad. Couldn't get the W done. It was a close game, field goal to win. Too bad. My first pick, week 12. All right, let's get into it. I'm taking some favorites this week. I like the numbers. I think they're good value. Chargers -2.5 versus the Broncos. It's actually going to be a tough game.
Big game.
But I'm really starting to think. And Chargers have had some wishy-washy games. They've had 46 points up, and they've had 6 on the board and got smoked. I think Herbert's starting to. I'm hoping Herbert can get a lead early. He's come back a lot in the fourth quarter, but I'm hoping he can get a lead early and stay ahead of the Broncos. We're going to have to see what happens. But that's my first pick of the week, taking Chargers by the -2.5. I think they can get it done by a field goal.
Yeah, you know what? And their game last week, the Chargers game last week there versus the Steelers, that was a big game, man. But the Steelers, they came back hard. Like I was turned it off at halftime there. Steelers were down big. I had the Steelers plus the points. And they were down by, I think it was 10 or 13 points at the time. And I get a notification on my phone in the fourth quarter. Steelers are tied it up. It's a back and forth game, so I have to turn it on. And luckily, the Chargers do come away with the victory there. But they did let the Steelers in back in that game, so that's a little worrisome on the Chargers part of things there. Meanwhile, man, I can't trust the Broncos. So I would be riding with you on the Chargers there.
Can't trust the Broncos.
That is just a stay away from me.
I think it's a blowout, but I'm not gonna say that.
I like it. Knock on wood. Let's go. My first pick of the week here, and you know what? This is a big division game. I'm doing big games this week. I'm taking a lot of divisional games.
Okay.
We're gonna start off with the big battle of the AFC North. We got the Steelers at the Bengals. Bengals are laying the 4 points. Bengals are coming off that huge win versus the Raiders where, their offense looked solid. Their defense held it together. They looked good versus the Raiders, but the Raiders, I wouldn't say are a good team. Yesterday, yes, they went to overtime with Dallas and they did end up beating Dallas, but that was a different story. Refs got involved in this game. And that was kind of a skewed outcome, I'd say, for the Raiders. And the Steelers have been keeping it close in games, man. They could cover on the road. They covered versus the Chargers. They couldn't get the job done, unfortunately. Both these teams are in the hunt for that wild card position, with the Bengals currently in that 7 seed, and the Steelers only a half game behind them. So this is a huge game. I like that hungry dog runs faster mentality. Who needs it more? Who wants it more? Steelers need it more. Bengals are already technically, sitting in that wild card spot. If the Steelers beat the Bengals, they hop them. They go in that wild card spot. They're making that playoff run. Last meeting between the Bengals and the Steelers there, Bengals did in fact beat the Steelers pretty good. It was 24-10, winning by 14 points there. But you know what? That was without a TJ Watt, on defense, which is, that's a big cog on that defensive front for that Steelers D, who they're lethal. When they're healthy, they're lethal defense. And you know what? They're getting healthy. We got Mika Fitzpatrick coming back. We got Joe Hayden coming back, and we got TJ Watt also returning for this game. I think it's a big game. I think it's gonna be a close game. You're gonna give me the 4 points. I'm gonna take the 4 points with the Steelers on the road. Let's go Steelers.
Okay. I'm glad you say that, Shea, because I'm on the other side of this. If I didn't already have this pick, though, I would have done it anyway, just because I hate Big Ben. I'm taking Bengals -4 this week. I think they're looking great. I think Joe is making great decisions with the ball in his hand. He plays with a lot of confidence for his age. I remember that reporter video. It just came up, and it's like, does this look like a Heisman Trophy? He's like, hell yeah, it does. And show him. And he's like, what would you say to this guy? He's like, you look like a national champion.
Yeah.
Goes on to get the national championship. Love it. Love that energy. I love what the Bengals are doing. I think, Steelers had a great year last year, other than letting it all go down the drain with 9 straight wins, being undefeated. And then I don't even think they did anything in the playoffs. Did they get smoked first
Yeah, first round out, exit there.
Yeah. See you later. So I think Big Ben is done. I think, he's just had it easy his whole life in Pittsburgh, and I can't wait to see Pittsburgh get a nice, young, talented quarterback. Can't wait to see that, because I'd actually get behind more Pittsburgh games. I'm taking Bengals the -4. And this is, again, a nice little head-to-head. One of us has got to win. So
we got to win. So this is looking good already for the record already. At least one of us is winning this game. Mark it up in the win column. I like that pick. Well, I don't like it because I'm going head-to-head with you. So best of luck to you, and I hope I win. My next pick, I'm sticking with these big games, dude. We're going to another divisional matchup. We got the Eagles at the Giants. Eagles are laying the 3.5 points. Eagles, they looked awesome against the Saints. Jalen Hurts ran for the 3 touchdowns. That offense really kind of bought into that run game. That they're getting the ball moving. They're now the second-ranked running team in the league. And you know what? They're putting up more yards on the ground than teams have put up, throughout the season in the last 5 games.
Getting a rhythm back.
They're getting a rhythm back. Jalen Hurts is looking good. Dallas Goedert looked good. I had him as a prop too in that game there versus the Saints. And he hit his over on receiving yards by the first half. So
wow,
we're looking good on the Eagles. Meanwhile, the Giants, man, they got blown out by the Bucs on Monday Night Football. They fired their offensive coordinator, Jason Garrett, after the game. Just wasn't a good play call for this offense that, they finally had all their weapons back and couldn't do anything offensively against a Bucs team who, they've been spotty in their last couple starts there. So, big game. Eagles are in that hunt for that playoff spot still. Well, the Giants, they know their fate. They're not making the playoffs. They're kind of punting on the season at this point. I'd say look for that draft pick, that high draft pick. Hopefully they can come back next year and be a little bit more competitive. Big stat here is the Giants are 2-12 versus the Eagles since 2014. And you know what? I think it's going to be 2-15, since 2014 after this game. So, give me the Eagles minus the 3.5 points. I would have rathered it at 3, but 3.5. I think the Eagles run away with this game big time.
Yeah, Eagles, you know what? But they did have a good run there in those years. They did get a Super Bowl. So, you're going up against some stats like that. But I see the logic here, and I could definitely get behind it. I like what I'm seeing by the Eagles. I don't have this game picked, but I definitely like where you're going with it. Speaking of bird teams that I don't like betting on, I'm doing myself a disfavor. I am betting on a bird team this week with the points. Atlanta's playing the Jaguars. We got, a vet, Matt Ryan, who's probably in his last leg last year, going up against Trevor Lawrence. Got nothing better to do but to lose this game anyways and get him some fucking all-stars wrapped around him. Fine. So I don't think they're going to throw the game by any means, but I think Matt Ryan is a hungry dog here and needs the points. To be honest, I think it's actually going to be a really good matchup. These two shitty teams playing, Atlanta versus Jaguars. I'm going to take Atlanta minus 2 points, though. I think they can get it done by a field goal. They've had a couple games this year where they've actually played pretty well together. So Atlanta minus 2 versus Jaguars.
Yeah, it's a toilet bowl kind of game, two shitty teams going head to head. That was one of the games I was also looking at too. I had to stay away. I'm already picking one shitty game this week. Did not want to get involved in 2. And that leads me into my next pick here. We got another toilet bowl game. We got the Jets at the Texans. Texans are laying the 2.5 points. The total set at 44.5 points. I'm saying that because I don't care what happens in this game. I'm taking the over. These teams suck. The over. There's going to be some points scored. Zach Wilson is coming back this week. He is expected to come back and play. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, where the Jets have, actually looked decent with Mike White behind behind the helm there. It's one of these things where Texans, they blew out the Titans last week in a convincing win, which was a huge upset for a lot of guys. A lot of people lost money on that game. It's going to be a shitty game. I did too, buddy. I hear you. Yeah. So it's going to be one of these things where, there's going to be points scored. There's going to be mistakes on offense, short field situations. There's going to be a lot of points scored. 44.5. I'm taking the over. I don't care who wins this game. I'm taking the over.
Awesome.
I would lean towards the Texans
on this game. Well, there you go. And thank you for saying that because I have this game picked in my lineup. Jets and Houston's. I'm actually looking at Houston's for the minus 2.5 points. I think the Jets just crumble. Houston's are playing obviously well. They've had some upsets. They've actually kept it close this season. They started the season off pretty hot. So surprisingly, as a trash team as they are, I'm going to take the Houston and the points. Not going to touch the over-under. That's a tough one. Honestly, I could honestly see this going like 17-6. Jets missing a easy, like not even just Jets getting 2 field goals. I'm taking Houston minus 2.5 points. You just got your teaser left.
No, I got one more pick and then my teaser.
Okay. Well, then get into your next pick because I've only got one pick left too.
All righty. So
you can go pick. I'll go pick, and then we'll go teaser.
Sounds good. My next pick, and I think we do have this pick the same. I got the Panthers at the Dolphins. Panthers are laying the 2.5 points. Cam Newton, you know what, man? As much as I lost money on him last week, he did look solid. It was his first week back in this system. He wasn't quite, gelling with this offense. You could tell that when he had to take off and run for a bunch of yards. So I think another week at full practice here, he's going to get right. He's going to play better with Christian McCaffrey. They're going to be able to expose this Dolphins team, who's I think they're also punting on the season. They're kind of out of it in their division with the Bills and the Patriots kind of neck and neck in the top seeds there, with the Dolphins and the Jets kind of way at the bottom. So they're a few games back of that. But the Panthers are in that wild card hunt. So, for the NFC South, they're currently second place, right behind the Bucs, with the Saints lost last night, so they make them second place. If the Panthers can win this, they get that solo second, one step closer to that playoff berth. Cam's going to get his first W here. 2.5 points. If it's under 3, I like it. I'm going to take the Panthers minus the 2.5 versus the Dolphins. I'm feeling Cam this week. Feeling Cam. We're going to go with another touchdown. I like Cam.
Wow, just taking an ex-Patriot. You know what? It's funny. I'm dogging on Cam. Made money off him losing last week, but like I said, he's a wishy-washy player. He needs to get a W. He wants to stay in the NFL. He wants to keep dressing up and going to press media. So I'm actually on this game too, and I'm on Carolina minus the 2.5 too. So Shea, thanks for taking the last 3 of my picks. Yeah, Carolina minus 2.5 versus the Dolphins. I think it's a must win. I think the Dolphins do still have a great defense. Couple injuries, but I think that if Carolina can get up on some points and really get away with this win, I think Cam Newton really wants to step up and show his talents. It's like he wants to get completions and high percentages this game. And so, and I think he's going to work hand in hand with, running the ball, using his runner, and then finding him also with little quick plays and getting up the field. So I think they're going to hold on to the ball a lot, get a lot of downs, and overall win the game by at least 3.
Yeah, well, can't really back a Dolphins team who almost lost to the Jets last week.
No, you can't.
It doesn't look good.
I think it's easy points with Carolina minus 2.5. Under 3, I really like the number. I like a lot of my picks this week other than Atlanta versus Jaguars. Chargers, Broncos, that's tough, but I think Bengals smoke Steelers, no offense. Carolina takes care of Dolphins. I think Houston takes care of Jets. So we'll have to really see. Before you get into your 2-game teaser, we've got our Twitter up. We've got our Instagram up. We are going to have some more picks. I had a great pick in this week for the Thursday games. I had the Chicago Bears and under parlayed with Josh Jacobs of the Raiders getting an anytime touchdown. And I finished that off with Bills and the points at -6. And that hit. That was 25. That made, close to 400. And that was a nice little Thursday cap off to start the week. So look out for our tweets. Check out our best picks that come in. If it makes sense to you, put a couple cents on it. Might make some dollars. That's all we got to say.
I have been doing a little bit of live tweeting during these games too. So, I've been giving out some live props.
Once you get the swing juice into you, it just flows out. Here's my best pick.
We're going Jonathan Taylor. I hammered Jonathan Taylor live all day last week. Just get it in the end zone. This guy was going nuts. So Absolutely. Give us a follow at Gambling Goats on Instagram and Twitter.
Follow us, comment, laugh,
Yep.
love, like.
For sure. Give us a couple retweets, share
Need
our
some goat.
posts. Let's go. Now, let's dive into this 2-game teaser, Johnny. I think you can like this teaser, and, let me know what you think here. We're going Bucks -3 at Colts. Colts have been playing awesome. Bucks, they got a good bounce back spot against, a Giants team who's been pretty shitty. I'm teasing the Colts, though, up to +10. I'm doing a 7-point teaser here. Jonathan Taylor, like I said, man, that guy has been running the ball. He is now in the MVP talk as a running back. He's the only running back that's in this MVP talk this season. He lit the Bills up last week for 5 touchdowns. So I can expect him to kind of, rely on, him running the ball, getting that ball downfield. Meanwhile, Carson Wentz has kind of looked good too. He's been making smart throws all over the field, not taking a lot of sacks, not being that same Carson Wentz we saw in Philly there last couple seasons there, where you get banged up behind the line.
Mm-hmm.
Give me over a touchdown. I'm going to take the Colts all day at +10. I think this is a close game. Both teams need this win. Colts need this win to kind of keep pace with the Titans and maybe, surpass them for that first place, as the Titans have been struggling with the loss to Houston. Meanwhile, the Bucks, they're comfortably in first place in their division. So they're just this could be kind of a letdown spot as they kind of like look towards, how to close out the rest of the season and make that first round bye. So that's my first leg of this teaser. My next leg of this teaser, we're going another big matchup. We're going Browns at Ravens. Ravens are -3.5. I'm going to tease the Browns from +3.5 to +10.5. Get me over that 7. Get me over that extra field goal after, Ravens don't blow anybody out, man. They keep these close games. They win them by 3. They win them by 4. If I'm going to get 10.5 points with the Browns in a divisional game, where, I think the Browns can get a little bit more healthy here. I saw that they activated Kareem Hunt off the IR this week. So that should definitely complement Nick Chubb in their running game, which that's their kind of bread and butter. Lamar coming back, yes, that scares me. It's kind of, one of these things where, yeah, he was out last week, but he's back this week and he's saying that he feels 120% better. Who cares? It's a divisional game. It's going to be a close game. I'm getting 10.5 points. Give me the Browns +10.5, buddy.
Yeah, no, and I like where you're going with that, Shea. Honestly, I think the Browns could maybe even win outright. Colts and Bucks going to be a good game. Really tough game. Really looking forward to watching that one. Wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole, but if you're touching it with 10 points, it makes you feel a little bit safe. So that's a fun teaser. Colts have been playing amazing. So again, could maybe get the outright. That's why I don't want to touch it. So I might be looking at just taking money line on Colts and Browns for a little play action hedge, but that'll just be a little something. We'll see. You're gonna have to check out our comments and our tweets if you want to get those picks. Shea, great week. I really think this is gonna be a week we can come back with some W's up for our herd and make some more money.
You know what, buddy? One of us has got to win these games. I'm telling you, we're going head-to-head in one. We got
head-to-head in the Bengals, and I think we both had Carolina and Houston picked, or you picked the over. So.
I picked the over. So I'm involved in that game. I just don't care who wins. But yeah, let's ride the Panthers out and let's have a good week, man. I need to turn it up. I'm running out of things to shave here. 1-4 last week. Got to be better. I got to be
never
better.
Running out of things to shave. All right, well, that's our picks for week 12, guys. Thanks for coming out again. We look forward to hearing you guys in our Twitter, in our Instagram, and letting us know what you guys think.
Absolutely. Hey, Johnny, have a good week, buddy.
Hey, make some money.